The light blur function is found within the built-ins in the container plugins and the texture folder. The light blur plugin will allow you to create images that you can use within your scene design. And the way that it works is that we can drag the light blur on some type of primitive. We'll just use a rectangle here, and we'll go into our built-ins, into the container plugins, and drag this light blur right onto our rectangle. When we do that, it creates this image. Now, if you watched any of our other tutorials within our server here, we have a bunch of images that we use for our design. So we have these mats here that we sometimes use that help us achieve various design results within our scene. And this light blur, these images here within our server all came from this light blur plugin. So we'll click on the light blur icon to go into the light blur properties editor here. And the first thing that we have within the light blur is our width and our height settings. So we can come in and change how big or how small we want this. So we can make them both match on the width and the height. So whatever we want to set this to, we can. If we want them both at 64, we can do that. If we want to scale this up, we can as well. So we can come over here and just scale this whole rectangle up or whole container up. Within the light blur, we also have a format. It's set to RGB by default. We can also change that to RGBA and an alpha and a luminance setting, as well as a luminance alpha. So choose whichever one we want. And as you do change these, you may need to come up into your width and your height to readjust these as well to get the right settings here. So we'll change these to the corresponding. We also have an X position or X percentage, a Y percentage as well, so we can adjust these in the image on the X and the Y. Finally, we have a spread, so we can spread this out even further. And then we actually have a color down below too. One thing about the spread is that you'll notice when you get too much bigger, you're going to hit the edge of the rectangle here. So just be careful about that. At some point you can start to see the hard edge bleed there. The color, so we can change the color. We have a color picker here. So if you wanted to start it at blue, we could select the fade to start at blue and the end to start at black. Notice the end here also has our alpha setting, so we can increase that to 100% and or fade it off around the edges there. Finally, if you do want to save this to reuse in other scenes, you could come over here, take a snapshot. So we'll select our folder here. We'll hit take snapshot. We'll give it a name. And then what you can do is double click on that image to come into the image editor. And now you can crop and add this image to save it for your scene design. So if we want to crop this out here, we'll get rid of some of that black. So we can hit apply, and then you just do a save as, give it a new name. Here is your new image, and you can use this new image within your scene design. So as we mentioned, all the images that we had within our one folder here, our design mats, generally most of these came from the light blur that we created with the light blur and then saved off within our server.